John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So it looked like this Arch Manning impact is definitely having an impact on the NFL. Moving forward, man, it's hype hikings. It got a lot of coaches and NFL organizations rethinking these long-term contracts with these veteran quarterbacks. Now, we just seen yesterday Aaron Rodgers signed a one-year, $25 million deal. A lot of people felt the type of way about it. Do Arch Manning has that big of a hype? Can his hype really alter the constructions of contracts moving forward? As of right now, I have to say possibly. Yes, bro. It goes on to say a lot of projections. Arch Manning hype questions at $118 million veteran quarterback compensation rises, bro. Arch Manning is once again in the headlines of college football following the promising season last year. He is also heavily projected as the number one potential pick for the 2027 NFL draft, despite only one season of starting. So if you guys do not know this, Arch Manning had to play behind Quentin Ewers, and he only started last season. Now, it did start off kind of rocky for a little old Arch, but he ended up finally getting his feet up under him and making some good, I would say, good plays and some good analysis, was trying to find some open receivers, and he's pretty decent with his feet, which is very different from his uncles. Now, I went on to say, does Arch Manning hold the potential to be clear-cut 2027 number one pick? Ian Keegan of Prep NFL Network and the Bleacher Report recently shared his early evaluations of Arch Manning's in the 2027 NFL draft class and offered a bold conversation involving Manning. Arch Manning conversation heading into the 2026 season is going to end up being Ryan Tanley, which doesn't mean Arch can't go number one next season. But I do not think there's a lot of projections being baked into the assumption that he's going to be number one, Kenyon wrote. By comparing Arch Manning projection to Tanley's, Kenyon was not criticizing him as a poor prospect, but instead he was saying that Manning's evaluation is still highly more projection based on the firmly established production. So as you guys can see here, Arch Manning faith is really in Arch Manning hand, literally. How is Arch Manning going to go out there and win over the number one spot? It just went over it. Now, we got J.D. Pickle, former on, well, he's still working on three. Speaking about Arch Manning, let's listen to J.D. Pickle.
So last offseason, the Arch Manning hype train is going off the rails, and I'm the guy saying, let's give it a beat before we just crown this guy the next best thing to ever touch a football field. Last name is cool, but let's see what he is when we actually see a full body of work that is a 2025 season, all right? So I say all that to say, I am all the way in on Arch Manning now. Middle seat, smiling, AirPods in, taking pictures with the fans. There's two potential things going on here. One, Arch Manning's a psychopath and says, I know how much money I have. I know I probably could fly first class, middle aisle seat, window seat, whatever. I could probably fly the plane if I wanted to. I'm Arch freaking Manning. If I said I wanted to fly this jet, there's somebody out there that would say, hey, Arch, your controls, here you go. So one, he just maybe loves the adversity of what the middle seat brings. You're crunched up for however many hours. I don't care how long the flight is. Middle seat sucks, so maybe Arch just a little bit twisted upstairs and loves the adversity. A good thing if you're a Texas fan. Second possibility here. Arch may be a little bit slow on the booking. All right, maybe, just maybe, had a flight he wanted to take, waits till a little bit too late before to book the flight. All this left middle seat, Arch says, no problem. I'm good for it. Doesn't run from adversity. Again, Arch, probably pretty well taken care of. I think that Viore money, that Red Bull money, the Warby Parker money, probably pretty good. He could have said, I'll just buy another flight. I'll pull some strings with my dad, my uncle, whoever, and we'll find a way to get this thing situated to where I can have a better seat on my flight. He says, you know what? No, I got to deal with the consequences of my actions. Got to be responsible here. Middle seat, let's go. Either way now, in the month of May, I love it. I'm in on Arch Manning, baby. Middle seat.
See, so like, even though he's poking fun at Arch Manning, somebody said Arch Manning in the middle seat has me rolling, dog. Not too often you sit next to a celebrity, great young man, hook 'em. Arch Manning Now, I truly feel, and I definitely believe like Arch Manning could be the next big thing. I'm sorry, bro. He just is. He just is,
your
bro.
reaction?
Steve Sarkeesian, that was low. ISO shot right here, please. Steve Sarkeesian, that was low. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that whatsoever. And I respect Steve Sarkeesian. He's a damn good coach. I didn't think he did a great job last year. The reason I didn't think he did a great job last year is because I thought he was too preoccupied with protecting Arch Manning, that basically he didn't do the job that he's shown he's capable of doing from years past by coaching that damn football team. He was too busy coaching Arch Manning, and he's got some making up to do. But I think he's a hell of a coach. You understand, Texas is lucky to have you, and I think this year will be a lot better than last year as it was. Having said that, that's a low damn blow. Ole Miss didn't deserve that. And the athletic director who I had the pleasure of meeting when I was down at Ole Miss, and they treated me first class and all of that stuff, this is not about that. The fact of the matter is that I made noise because I talked about when Lane Kiffin was thinking about leaving. Go ahead and leave, because if you are a black man and you are not from Mississippi and you hear the word Mississippi, whether it's Ole Miss or Mississippi, it's going to give you cause to pause, because from an historical perspective, civil rights, control laws, et cetera, folks walking around there with the Confederate flag, now, it's an uncomfortable situation. When black folks hear Mississippi, that's the first thought that comes to their mind. But I had never been to Mississippi before, other than flying in for college football game day when Deion Sanders was at Jackson State and college football game day was there. Other than that, I had never been to Mississippi, or I drove through it, but that's about it, okay? We understand that. But that ain't for Steve Sarkeesian to take a shot at the university. They were in the college football playoffs, not Texas. They got a big-time quarterback in Chambliss, not Texas. A Texas Arch Manning, and we hope that he's going to be that way. But at this moment in time, they have the better quarterback. They were in the college football playoffs. Coach Golden did an outstanding job once Lane Kiffin departed, despite how haphazard things were at that moment in time. To sit up there and make a statement like that, basket weaving, it's an insulting thing to the university. You're diminishing the quality of the education that they may offer at that institution. You got an abundance of people out there that's looking to make lives for themselves, to prosper and to be happy, and getting a college degree from there. You can't go at a university like that. It's totally wrong. It was unnecessary. And you got to know that if you Steve Sarkeesian. It was really below the belt and a very classless thing for him to say. I don't give a damn what the University of Texas tries to say to explain away that comment. Under no circumstances is that comment supposed to come out of the mouth of an opposing SEC coach, any coach for that matter. You're a leader of young men. You got to know better than that, Steve Sarkeesian. And unfortunately, I think he said the wrong thing. All you have to do is take basket weaving and you get an old
What if he said it in jest, though?
You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. There's no such thing.
Wow. So Steve's comments definitely went viral, man. But I want to know y'all thoughts down in the comment section right now. Keep them bills on, because we going up, bruh. And until next time, shake the damn haters off. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace out.